What is USAID? USAID is not a government agency that you'd be talking about very much. It stands for the United States Agency for International Development. You see, part of the whole idea of America First is examining the finances of our government and asking very simple fundamental questions. Why are we spending money on this? Is this a good idea? Why are we doing this? USAID is a grift. It is a grift. The amount of money that we spend on USAID is shocking. Shocking to most people. We are talking about tens of billions of dollars, at least $50 billion that we know of. And when you dive into some of the examination of the money, we're talking about funding hit pieces on our own citizens. Today, there is some major and massive breaking news of President Trump fulfilling the mandate. President Trump going all in with the help of Elon Musk and Marco Rubio. Boom. 15,000 people being put on administrative leave. Sorry, you can go work from home. Now, that is the precursor to potentially being able to terminate them. This is a deep state slush fund. There was an entire division of USAID funding LGBTQIA plus programs in Asia. Being gay in Asia is what your taxpayer dollars were funding. And I got to brag by someone in the administration right now. Someone who's been a 10. Someone who's been a 10 is Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio has been a 10 out of 10. I've known Marco for a while. We really got to know each other the last 6 months. He's come on the show, spent time with him, went to Greenland with his chief of staff, Mike Needham. And Marco has been, boom, every day, new country. Today, El Salvador. Other day, Panama. He's now the acting director of USAID. Now, you might think, oh, USAID, it helps all these countries. It's a bunch of malarkey, BS, balderdash, rubbish. You want to go help a country? Go donate to Samaritan's Purse. Go donate to private charities. This is a deep state slush fund to make foreign tin pot dictators rich, to make Zelensky and his oligarch friends be able to buy $100,000 of Hermes and Chanel purses. This is nothing more than wire transfers to the worst, ugliest people on the planet, or to get us involved in foreign wars. We do humanitarian aid to undermine foreign governments. This is going at the heart of the matter of the globalist international empire. And now 15,000 people are now put on administrative leave. There is this coming constitutional collision point, and it's all around the Impoundment Act. It's coming like a freight train. Does the executive branch have to spend everything that Congress has appropriated? And if your answer is yes, then you don't believe in equal branches. You believe in Article 1 supremacy. You believe in legislative supremacy. The founders wanted equal branches that are constantly bickering with one another. They did not want to have a superseding legislative branch. And if we're honest with ourselves, we have a supremacist Article 1, and then we have this article, fourth branch government that comes together. And this Article 2 is basically the executive branch has become this weak, feeble, basically performative branch. And President Trump is bringing it back to the vim and vigor that the founders envisioned. So the fundamental issue here when it comes to repositioning American foreign policy is what is in the best interest of America. What is in the best interest of the homeland? What is in the best interest of the United States of America? For far too long, we have been the ATM machine of the entire planet. We have been the piggy bank of the entire world. You see, the nation bloc of Western nations, including even our neighbors, have been taking advantage of American labor for the last 50 or 60 years. USAID, just one example of that. They say that they want to fund global health and economic development, education and gender equality, humanitarian assistance. This is the new acting director of USAID, who's also your Secretary of State. He's been a 10, Marco Rubio. Play cut 45.
Well, look, I mean, my frustration with USAID goes back to my time in Congress. It's a completely unresponsive agency. It's supposed to respond to policy directives of the State Department, and it refuses to do so. So the functions of USAID, there are a lot of functions of USAID that are going to continue, that are going to be part of American foreign policy, but it has to be aligned with American foreign policy. I said very clearly during my confirmation hearing that every dollar we spend and every program we fund, that will be aligned with the national interest of the United States.
Did you know that we created a fake Twitter knockoff to promote subversion in Cuba? Should we overthrow the Cuba communists? Maybe. We shouldn't do it through a fake humanitarian aid organization that isn't accountable. President Donald Trump is not just running on the idea of America first. Why are we sending money all across the world on these little silly projects? Cut it all off. Re-examine it. Does it help the country? Does it help the homeland? And USAID, all the worst people in D.C. go and they'll have little meetings. Can we do $30 million for gender in Senegal? And then a lot of it gets rerouted back to friendly contractors and organizations that are part of the racket. You have to wonder, has USAID been subsidizing color revolutions internationally? Was USAID involved in the Maidan Revolution, which led to Zelensky and then the Russian invasion of Ukraine? Is USAID involved in all of the money in Afghanistan? Yes. Hundreds of billions of your taxpayer dollars sent in every little corner of the planet unnecessarily. We have big hearts, and so no one ever wants to go after USAID, the United States Agency for International Development. Here's an interesting question. How many other countries send aid to America? Because East Palestine could use some aid. And Beverly Hills and the Palisades could use some aid. And North Carolina could use some aid. Oh, so we're the piggy bank of the world. It ends. We're no longer the dumping ground. We're no longer the ATM. We are no longer going to finance all these abstractions. America First is here, and this is what it looks like. Everybody, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. We're doing so much good work here at Turning Point USA. We appreciate it. And if you listen to audio podcasts, subscribe to the Charlie Kirk Show podcast. That's Charlie Kirk Show podcast. We won, everybody. We won. I need to get this hat. Daisy, can you get me one of these hats? We won. And if you guys want a limited edition signed MAGA hat right here, last thing I'll say is become a member, members.charliekirk.com, to get a limited edition MAGA hat. We have 5,000 to send out, don't we, Daisy?
Over, like 8,000 now.
We have 8,000 hats I have to sign. 8,000 hats. God bless.